Hello my fellow chef knives enthusiasts.
Another knife video? You really need a girlfriend, dude. But okay, what are you showing us this time?
My Tetsujin Metal Flow 210mm Gyuto, a collaboration between two friends and colleagues Blacksmith Toru Tamura and Sharpener Naohito Myoji. Let's start with the Blacksmith. Toru Tamura is a relatively young blacksmith. More than 10 years ago, Toru Tamura was actually an employee at Knifeware in Calgary for about a year. Fun fact, he played the bass in a band called Peach Legs. And when he left for Japan to become a blacksmith, he left Knifeware one of his bass guitars, which is now hanging behind the register of a Knifeware shop. I guess being surrounded by some of the finest blades from around the world sparked the ambition in his heart to become a blacksmith himself. With his new passion ignited, Tamura-san returned to Japan, seeking to learn from the masters. He found himself at the doors of Takafur Knife Village, a renowned hub for Japanese blacksmithing, under the watchful eyes of Hiroshi Kato, a living legend with over 50 years of experience in knife making. Tamura-san shaped the foundations of his blacksmithing knowledge. Hiroshi Kato taught Tamura-san how to forge double bevel knives, but after a little while he went to work for Masaharu Shimizu, an 80-year-old great single bevel knife maker from Echizen. He is one of only a few blacksmiths in Japan who can forge Maguro Bocho knives. As the apprentice of Masaharu Shimizu, Tamura-san honed a unique aspect of his craft, the Nimai technique. This double forging technique, uncommon in the Tosa area where Tamura-san is based, creates single bevel knives with a distinct characteristic: cladding applied only on the cutting edge side of the blade. Tamura-san prefers working with traditional steels, and he likes to make his knives as thin as can be, often thinner than many Tosa blacksmiths, showcasing his training in the Takafur Knife Village. In his quest to perfect his craftsmanship, Tamura-san's path crossed with the Myojin family, a household name in the world of Japanese knife making. Their collaboration has produced some of the finest knives in the world, establishing a high standard of excellence. One such endeavor is the Tetsujin Hamano, a line of knives hand-forged by Tamura-san and sharpened to perfection by Naohito Myojin. His journey from the aisles of a store in Calgary to the forges of Takafur Knife Village and collaborations with the Myojin family is inspiring to me and confirming to me. It's never too late for a happy childhood, meaning you can always start doing the thing that you really want to do and just become who you want to be.
Dropping facts.
Now let's move on to his Tetsujin partner in crime, Naohito Myojin. Naohito Myojin is a very talented young sharpener. He has also trained as a blacksmith, simply to better understand his craft. Naohito Myojin is the second generation of the company Myojin Riki Seisakusho. He is the sharpener behind some of the very famous knife lines in the industry. Next to his own range of knives, I've seen Nakagawa blades, Niigata Rainbow Damascus blades, Konosuke FM Fujiyama blades, and Shoichi Hashimoto blades, all sharpened by Myojin-san. Every knife he sharpens are known for their superb fit and finish. He learned sharpening skills in many different regions, such as Echizen, as well as in Sakai. He is now recognized by many famed sharpeners and blacksmiths from all over Japan. While his workshop is probably not as famous as the longer established brands from Sakai and Echizen, it's safe to say that he is one of Japan's greatest sharpeners.
Perhaps he should sharpen my claws then.
So that was a quick introduction to the dynamic duo that created this blade, but let's get this thing out of the box already and see what the fuss is all about. My Tetsujin Metal Flow came with this fantastic handle by Fredrik Spare. I don't know how to pronounce his Swedish last name. Fredrik Spare. I don't know. If you're Swedish, forgive me if I butcher his name. But let me tell you, the handle made by Fredrik Spare is looking very, very special. Fredrik Spare fitted this beautiful Tetsujin Metal Flow with a handle made of ebonized oak, Ebonized wood is apparently burnt in an oven at a tight temperature range. That's all I can say about it. The ebonized oak is fitted with imitation ivory and brass spacers, and this stunning hand-hammered brass bolster. It flows so seamlessly and organically into the lines on the handle. I just love the look and design of this handle. It has been crafted expertly. The attention for detail is insanely good. It is so flawless. It almost doesn't look like it was done by hand.
Alright, let me check. Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, the fit and finish on this handle is next level premium. The geometry and shape of the handle just feels super comfortable in the hand. It is much higher or taller than it is wide, which makes so much sense when I'm holding it. Anyway, I didn't even see the blade yet, but I think this amazing handle is already upping the value of this knife by quite a bit. I can't believe I'm nerding out so hard on just a handle of a knife, but sometimes they just hit me hard, and this one definitely does. But let's finally look at these blades. This Tetsujin range of knives is made from Blue 2 or Alagami No. 2 carbon steel, and it has this unique metal flow finish, or as the box says, it has a microstructural banding. It gives me wrought iron vibes and Damascus vibes, but this knife has neither of those features. It shows the actual grain of the metal, like the grains in wood. It is apparently a very skillful and very rare method, and the looks of it definitely makes this knife something special. Yeah, really nice. Wow. Now Hito-san gave it a slight convex hamaguri grind, which is just beautifully done. The geometry of this blade looks incredible. It features some highly visible forging cloud on the iron cladding. Often this type of forging lines are found on knives cladded with old wrought iron, which are usually rare and expensive. In contrast, the cladding cloud on this blade is formed by great forging and sharpening techniques of the makers. As I said, it really gives me wrought iron vibes, but no wrought iron was used. This was all done on purpose by design of Tamaru-san and Myojin-san. And I must say I'm very impressed. Naito gave it this elegant and hazy finish on the soft iron cladding. The carbon banding in the iron formed during forging is accentuated by Myojin's superb finish work. The finish is an etching technique by Myojin-san, which shows defined layers in the iron, giving it a flowing pattern, hence the name Metal Flow.
Still got nothing on my man Metal Face Doom. MF Doom had the illest flow. All caps when you spell the man name.
The fit and finish on these blades? Top notch, it's perfection, with a polished and chamfered spine and choil, and that handle pairs really well with this blade in my humble opinion. I really like what I see here. The balance point is right smack in the middle. Oh wow, this must be the best out of the box edge that I've ever felt. This edge scares me. In a good way, but this scary sharp. Okay. I guess nobody was exaggerating about Myojin. One question remains. How does it cut? The beautiful and exquisite Tetsujin Metal Flow. Loving the profile. Nice little flat spot in the back. Nice gentle curve to the tip. The grind on this knife. Boy, Naoto Myoji knows what he's doing. And this handle by Fredrik Spader. So comfortable in the hand, so let's go. Wow. No effort. No pressure. Like butter. It's like I'm holding nothing in my hand. I don't feel any resistance, any friction. It just flies through this. So satisfying. I'm having way too much fun. Can't believe how sharp it is. It bites through the skin of this chili pepper with no problem. When it goes through the skin, it just falls through it. This knife reminds me of one of my mentors, one of my chefs. I remember this moment where he told me that he didn't want to hear my knife on the cutting board. The really fine grind and elegant, delicate edge on this knife makes me want to do that again. I don't want to make any sound on the cutting board. The word wedging is just not in this nice vocabulary. I really can't believe how easy it goes through a carrot. Wow, wow, wow. Unbelievable, this performance. This knife makes me want to cut real slow and just enjoy how effortlessly it is just flying through all these veggies. Wow. This is so satisfying, people. This is so satisfying. I could do this all day. This is way too much fun with your clothes on. I want this edge on all my knives. Look how effortlessly it just bites and glides through the skin of this bell pepper. It's Do I actually have to say more words? On the board, it feels like the heat treat is on point. Even though the knife is almost laser thin and super thin behind the edge, it didn't really feel chippy or too fragile. But I do have to say that this knife made me cut very gently and calmly. Usually a knife dictates to me how it wants to be used. Not every knife is the same, just like you have to approach a certain person differently than the other. I don't really want it the other way around, that I have 10 completely different knives that I use exactly in the same manner or way. The knives are telling me how it needs to be used. This knife definitely didn't make me want to use it aggressively. It's just way too thin and delicate for that kind of action. This is a blade that wants to dance on your cutting board like a ballerina, not act like a UFC fighter on the cutting board and just KO the produce that you're cutting. Maybe that's just me, but this beautiful piece of forge work and sharpening work definitely inspired me to cut slowly, controlled and relaxed. And if the cutting footage with this knife didn't say it all already, the grind work and sharpening work of Myojin-san is just first class or business class. I don't know which class is higher. Whatever class is the highest. I don't know. I fly economy. But with this knife, I'm definitely not cutting economy class. I now understand why Myojin is known for this. He truly gave this blade that erotic cutting potential that it deserves. It's like sex in the hands, which in my case is the only sex I'm getting.
And this is the only kind of sex that I'm getting.
I think the embarrassing look on my face when I just slide it into the DM of that bell pepper tells the whole Instagram story. It feels so effortless, so smooth, like there is no such thing as friction. The way it was biting and sinking through that bell pepper. What? Are you kidding me? That was unheard of. That should probably be illegal in most countries. I think that was the most satisfying cut through a bell pepper in my whole entire life. It truly was epic. It definitely made my day. There are just a few knives in my collection that give me this feeling that I cannot express in words. You can only experience it by using the knife. Knives like this go far beyond reviewing vocabulary. And as much as Tamura-san and Myojin-san should be proud of this work, I think anyone should be proud of having one of these knives and using one of these knives. After just one cutting session with this knife, this Tetsujin Metal Flow 210mm Gyuto is immediately one of my favorite blades. Not just one of my favorite Gyutos, but favorite blades in general. It's just a very enjoyable all-round Gyuto to use. I bonded with the steel, the profile, the grind, the handle, just the overall feel of the knife right away. And next to that amazing cutting feel and cutting smoothness and performance of this knife, it is just gorgeous to look at. If kitchen knives aren't art, then why are they making them this pretty? Many of my knives are incredibly well crafted, aesthetically gorgeous objects. But at the end of the day, are they just tools? Does the purpose of a knife prevent it from being art? No, not in my opinion. But this metal flow pattern to me is not the most important aspect of this knife. At least not when I decided to purchase one. I was much more interested to find out how this knife performed. And boy, oh boy, this does not disappoint. This is my first knife sharpened and ground by Myojin-san. Also my first knife forged by Toru Tomaru. And I'm not sure how they ever are going to top this. They are very young still. I'm not sure if I'm ready to find out what their knives will be like in 20 or 30 or 40 years. Now, if my enthusiasm for this knife rubbed off a little bit on yourself, then I might have some good news for you. There are 3 of these Metal Flow babies in stock at Meester Slijpers as I speak. And those 3 Tetsujin Metal Flow 210mm Gyutos with a Frederiksspare handle will be released on the website of Meester Slijpers this Thursday, the 1st of June at 7 p.m. Central European Summertime. So if you would like to get one of these knives as well, set your alarm clock and snag one of these before they are all sold out. The normal retail price of this knife is €569, but René Juricek gave me a discount code for you guys. If you use the discount code CKE at the checkout, your price for this knife will only be €485. This knife is worth it. I will actually write a handwritten note that goes inside of the boxes of all 3 of these knives to congratulate you personally with the purchase of one of these knives. And honestly, I think for a high-performing Myojin grind, all that beautiful banding on the edge blades and that amazing handle by Frederiksspare, €485 is a sweet deal. It's by no means cheap, but in my opinion it is definitely a steal for what you get. Does it cut? I almost came twice in my pants just using it for the first time. Does it cut? Does it make me happy when I look at it? Heck yeah, you bet! This is one of the most seductive looking blades in my collection. Probably in my top 5. Top 10 for sure. The fit and finish is flawless, out of this world. The blade, enough said about the look of the blade. It's gorgeous. The handle, instantly one of my favorite handles in the collection. Top 3 easily. Was this knife in my price range? Fortunately it was. I can imagine that it is quite an investment. Believe me, this knife is worth it. This knife is worth every cent I paid for it, and then some. I would be surprised if these 3 will last long on the website of Meester Slijpers. And if you manage to snag one of these, I would love to hear it from you. We became knife brothers. As always, thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you think of this knife. Leave a comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to support my channel. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Consider subscribing and help my channel grow. Hope to catch you in the next videos. Bye folks.
Move along, nothing to see here.